Alright, welcome back everyone. So in the previous video I introduced you to CSS. So this video now we start the practical aspect of this CSS. So right now I'll go to my desktop. So I'm in my desktop folder now. So go to your desktop. I will create a new file. I will name it CSS project. So which we are going to be saving all the projects we're going to work on this CSS. So I'll open it now. So you should also create yours too. So after opening it, you can see here now I've opened it, nothing's inside. So the next thing I need to do is to open it on my VS Code. So I will go and launch my VS Code. So just go to my starting menu, then launch, type VS Code there. So by the way, you should have installed VS Code on your system. So you can use other text editor. You can use Sublime Text, VS Code. Can you use Notepad++, Atom? So but for this video we are going to be using VS Code. That is Visual Studio Code. So white it opens. So you should also get your browser ready. So it can be Opera Mini, Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox. But for this video I'm going to be using Chrome. So now this is VS Code. Now when you open it now, you should see something like this on your screen. So this is the environment. So by the way, if you don't know how to navigate your way through Visual Studio Code, take time to observe it, explore the interface, the environment, explore it, go and check out the features, go and click on any way. So go and explore it and see the way it works. Don't worry, if it crashes you can always uninstall and install it back again. But make sure that you explore it so that I can understand the way the interface works. Alright, so now next thing we need to do is to click on file to open the folder we just created. So I'll click on file, then click on open folder. So there's a shortcut here, Ctrl+Shift+O. So click on open folder. So mine is opening now. So it has opened my file explorer. So I will locate my desktop. So locate my desktop, then click on CSS projects. So if I've located it, can you see now CSS projects what I just created? Then you can see in this folder there is the name has to be typed there automatically. So then this is CSS project. I will just click on select folder. Alright, so now you can see it has opened now. So a question will pop in now, which is so just a question will pop in that do you trust the files inside this folder? So just click on I trust, because you created the folder already by yourself, so you should be able to trust the folder. So just click on I trust this folder, so in case that pops up in yours. So right now, so what I need to do is to create a new folder. So I'll create a new file. I will name it index.html. So to create it now, I can come to this file here, click on new, or just come to this four icons here. So then the first one is for creating a new file, second one is for creating a new project, a new folder, this one is for reloading, and then the last one is for collapsing. So let's click on this, the first one, to create a new file. So I'll just name it index.html. So we're going to be working with the HTML as I told you earlier. So we're going to see all how to link the HTML. That will be our first project for this video. So to link it now, so let's see. So I will write the basic HTML tag, very important. So okay, oh my god, So I've typed the HTML, so the basic HTML file. So now right now I have the HTML, then the doc type, which is the declaration that this is HTML document, then the HTML, then the language English, you can see it here, so an attribute language, then the head tag. Now so I have this meta chasset UTF-8, that is for the character set, then HTTP equivalent, then the compatible, that is this content is compatible with Internet Explorer, that is Edge. So now the viewport is for the responsiveness of this web page. So now inside the content, inside the title, I'm going to just add CSS, just type CSS there. So let's open it in our browser and see the way it looks like. So this is the CSS project. Now when you create it using this VS Code, you should automatically see this file there, index. So you're not seeing the HTML you're not seeing the .html because it's an extension. So I'll click on it to open it now. Alright, so while my browser opens, I'll just go back to the VS Code and then start doing some things there. So coming back to this head now, so as I was explaining earlier, we have this head tag, which is going to be the which is where we are going to be adding the internal CSS. But for now, let's see the browser now. Let's see what happens. So now this is my browser now. The HTML, this.html has opened. So if you notice, the CSS has opened here. This is the CSS in the title. Alright, so what I want to do right now is to make this my browser. I want to split the screen into two. Then the VS Code will take one side and also the browser will also take the other side, so that I can just refresh easily here. So now let's open this. So now let's use using the inline CSS. Now the inline CSS is added to the HTML attributes, just like the body. So now I will start by making the background of this body to be, or this page to be red. So I'm going to add an attribute, a CSS style there. So now to add it there, I just need this attribute style. Then I can now enter any. So now remember this style. Okay, now it's an attribute. Then I will enter my property name, which is going to be background color. So BG color. Then I can choose red. So let me collapse so I can see it very well. So then a colon, then red. So let's refresh now. I will refresh my page. So if you notice, I only refresh, I didn't save. So now this is what happened. When I go to my file here, then you can see autosave. So I set mine to also autosave. If not, I will just come here to be saving every time, but you can just click on autosave so that it can automatically save for you. So now see what we have done right now. We have entered a background color using the inline elements. So I want to enter something else there. So I will just enter h1. So this is a tag, h1 tag. Then so I'll just enter a hello world. So now hello world. So I will refresh my page. Let's see. Can you see the hello world there? Very good. So let's add an inline CSS to this now. So I've just changed the color. I've changed the color of this hello world. Alright, so I just add the style element there. So then equal to then the quotation mark, then color will be the property name, and then the blue will be the elements, be the value of this property. So let me refresh now. Let's see how it looks like. So what we are using right now is an inline CSS. You can see this style here is CSS. So what we are doing right now is to manipulate the HTML content now. The hello world now, which is the content here, you have manipulated it. You have changed the color right now, change the background color. So you can manipulate it and do other things to the HTML content. So what other things I can add? I can many things. So let's add another CSS property, which is going to be okay. Let's add what do you call it? font size. So the font size is going to be, let's add like so. And by the way, if you are used to, you should understand this font color, you know, if you be used to what you call it, to Microsoft Word. So for the font size, I just let's use 24. Let's see how it's going to be big. So the size of the text is going to be 24, not very big where I want it. So let's change to, okay, 24, change 30. So 30 pixels. So remember the pixels. So I will reload the page. Let's see. Okay. Alright, actually there's a mistake here. So a column, yes, done now. Alright, so you can see the way it is now. So if I increase something like 50, let's see the difference. You can see how that is bigger now. So now this is just a CSS styling that we have added to this HTML content. So this is using the inline element, the inline CSS. So let's use the internal CSS and let's see the way it works. Though in this project we are going to be working on this. So in this video we're going to be using inline CSS. So let's see the way it was. So inside this head tag now I'm going to add style there. So another style element. So remember opening tag of style and then the close tag of style. So I can start adding the calling. Okay, now I'll use this body. Now this is body now. So I'm going to call it here. So body is going to be, so body, then curly brackets. So you can see here now the body is now referencing this body. So just like the selector selecting this body element. So now, so I'll just add exactly what I've added here. That's what I'm going to add. So let's just copy it and let's see if there's going to be difference between the two. So I'll just come here and then type it there, background color red. So before I start, I will delete this one. I'll delete the line element. So let's see. So it's still the same thing. So can you see that it's still the same thing? So if I remove this one now, or I just cause an error there, so I change the red to red. So let's see, can you see it has changed now? So you can see, so the inline element is also cool. So the difference is the inline element is added to the element tag, while the internal CSS, which is this style, the one we have added into the head, can you see? So this one is added into the head, while the inline is just directly to the. So now here now, if I call this one, let's see something now. This is one of the benefits of the internal CSS. So I want to use H1 now. I'll call, let me express H1, then color, let's say brown. Okay, since we have red, so let's use something like, okay, so now let's assume this now. So now let's assume we have maybe about 3 H1 in this document now. This is about 3 H1. So this is another H1. You can see here, then another H1. So I will remove this inline CSS. We don't actually need it again. So what I'm doing right now is to remove this inline CSS. So you don't actually need it. Alright, so removing it now. So if I reload the page now, see what we have. You can see what you have gotten now. You've gotten this So if you notice, all the yellow words are in yellow color. Why? Because we've done it here. So we referenced it here, we've selected it here, and then added a style here that the color should be okay. Chart reuse. Okay, I wonder what color is this. Okay, it's color yellow. So you can see this color right now. We have added it. We have manipulated this text now, you know, using this internal CSS. So now the benefit, now the difference between the internal and the inline. Now I could reference with one code. Now I could affect about 3 elements, but as it was to be inline element, I have to be writing the same thing inside each one of them. But with inline, I could just, with a single code, I could affect multiple. So in case I'm having like about 100 H1 or any other 100 P, I can use just a single P to manipulate them in my CSS internal or external, you know, file. So you can see the difference now, that the internal is more preferable. So for the external, what we do is to create a new file. So I'll come to this. So go here. Okay, what we do is to create a new file. I'll create a new file and then name it style. So style.css. This is for the external file. So you can see style.css. Then I'll come to this head tag here. Come to my head tag and then create a link. So the link is going to be for CSS. So let me collapse this so that I can see it very well. So we have this link, then the relationship is style sheet, then we have the type. So what is the type? So the type is going to be text/CSS. So the type of document is text./CSS. So this is the type of documents we are linking with this HTML documents, and the relationship is style sheet, which is CSS. So the reference is the H reference, that is where it's located, the location of the file we are linking now. Where it's located here, can you see now? Because it's located in the parent folder here. So that's why I just have it as style.html, as well as style.css here. So if I come back here, you can see the way it is now. So let's start manipulating it now. The same code we are going to use. So what I just do here is to copy this code now, because the same way it applies in the inline is the same way it is in the external. So the difference is the inline is being enclosed in the head element. So I'll just come here, copy the body tag, yes. So I will cut it now and then delete it and then reload the page. Let's see the way it's going to look, or let's see the change you have made. So right now, let's see, you can see the way it is now. It has come back to the normal way. So we'll go to the nice external CSS now, that is style.css file, then paste the code there, that is body, then paste it there. So I need to format it very well. Alright, so see the way it is now. Alright, so see the body, and then if I reload it now, you can see. So mind you, if I come back to this place, mind you, make sure that the location is correct. It's correct with the one you have here now, style.css. If it's not correct, so for example now, maybe I mistakenly, by mistake, I type instead of style, just type stu, like so. Let's see, can you see there is no effects? Why? Because the location of this style.css is not correct in my linking. So I need to correct, make sure that it's correct. So can you see here now? So when you can see that the change is now affected here. Alright, so now this is the end of this video. So in the next video we are going to create a simple layout of CSS using a simple layout using CSS. Alright, bye for now everyone.